Hey.
I got it again.
We back again, baby. What's up?
It's good. The sun is out.
It's
The
oh,
weather is vibing.
it's
It's
giving.
giving.
It's
Yes,
giving what it's supposed to have gave, and
I needed it. I
we love
needed it.
that.
It did.
Yes. Summer's my favorite, so you already know I'm about to blossom. This is my time. This is my time.
Right, right.
But welcome back to another episode of PinkTaxChat, where we
Mm-hmm.
talk about everything from A to Z: finances, relationships, dating, friendships, family, whatever you name it. Nothing's off
Sprinkle
limits.
all of that in.
All of that.
Everything.
Sprinkling in what?
Some of the
30s.
30s.
Sprinkling in what else? Adulthood. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. 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 That's what we're doing. So we want to introduce the topic today. What we diving into today?
Today it's going to be very on brand. You see my shirt?
We see it.
It says NO.
It
It says
says
no.
N-O. What that
No.
spell?
No. No. Now, before we dive in,
Yes.
I gotta give a shout out.
Shout
this
out.
Shirt, this shirt is from a black-owned business.
Yes.
Owned business.
Yes.
And it's from my girl Lisa.
All
right. She has
right.
a business on Instagram, Lotus Blossom.
Okay.
If I'm signing that right, correct me if I'm wrong. But check out her handle, and
Check
we'll
it out.
definitely
support.
tag it. Yeah, tag it below. I'm gonna do that.
Yes.
Yes.
We
But
love
I love
that.
the back of the shirt. You know what it says,
Let me
girl?
see. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see.
I'm gonna try to see if I can.
No is a
I don't know if you can see
complete
that.
sentence. No is a complete sentence. Amen. Amen.
Sentence.
N-O period. That's it.
Do you see the period? You see it?
Period.
Period.
Period. We love that. So yes, shout out to the black owned businesses. We support
deaf owned business.
Deaf owned. Yes, yes, amen. We wanted to highlight that. So check her out for sure. Like go, run, don't walk, that kind of thing. But that's what we're talking about today. We're talking about the power of no.
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 And I want to point out this question came from someone who watches us.
Yes, and we thank you for that.
We love y'all.
We love you. We love you.
But I want to say this. That follower was like, I struggle with saying no. In different aspects of their lives. I struggle with saying no. And I was like, you know what? That's okay. Because I do too. But we have to say no. And no is so important. Not just the art of saying no. It's relevate to your mental health, to you, how you value yourself, and that hard line, that boundary that you set in with whoever you're engaging with. No, I'm sorry, I can't. I'm sorry, no. And really,
give it to the sorry. Honestly, give it to the sorry. No, I can't.
Yes, yeah. I mean, really, no. It really should stop right there. No.
Yeah. I love that you said that. Yeah, because people sometimes, myself included, you maybe will say no, but you feel like you owe an explanation. You don't owe nobody nothing. You don't owe nobody an explanation. Like, you said no, like, that's it. You don't really have to explain why you said no and blah, 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 blah. Like, no. And get rid of the apology too. Like, own it. And I think that's so important. Like, I've seen, for me, this really resonates in his home because I struggle with saying no at work. In my professional setting. So I'm pretty good. I mean, I ain't trying to brag, but I'm pretty good at exercising my NOs in my personal life. And that took me some time too. I'm not gonna pretend like I just knew overnight how to do that right away. No, I mean that took some experience too, but I feel like I'm empowered to say no pretty easily, or set like the boundaries and be like, nah, that ain't for me in my personal life. But in my professional work life experience, I struggled with that for a while. I'm good now, but I struggled for a while. And I think that's a real thing. I think many of us struggle with saying no in the workplace or professional settings because it's tied to bag. It's your money, it's your livelihood. So like you're careful, you may be feeling a little bit obligated, or I don't even want to say scared. Yeah, like obligated, like you have responsibilities. Right, obligated, like you have responsibilities, and you don't have the liberty of just feeling empowered, like you can speak up for yourself in a setting like that, because they have a little bit of like control over your employment.
Really, you know what the word is? What? They really have the power over you.
Yeah.
Because your job is how you put your food on the table. Right. Your job is how you paying bills. Your job is how you handling business. Yeah. And if you want to say no, it's like, that's hard.
You may lose your job. You may get punished. You may have retaliation.
Well, that's a big one. Retaliation, the fear of retaliation.
And it happens, unfortunately. I hate to say it, but it does. It happens. It does.
This listener was like, sometimes they get so upset, and they're like, well, they're texting me at 1 a.m. to come into work, and I'm so upset, and I'm going into work at like 1 or a time I'm not scheduled.
First of all, I want to back up and clarify. Like, what's the nature of her work? Because, like, if it's like an office job and your boss is texting you at 1 a.m.,
it's not. It's different.
Okay, I just wanted to clarify that, because, like, that changes the conversation too. Because I mean, that happens too. People experience that.
That does happen too. But this job is not that. Mm-hmm. But it's still, the no should still be happening regardless.
It should.
If you're texting them during their off hours while they're not scheduled, because it absolutely can be handled when I'm scheduled.
When I clock in and I get there.
And I get there. Don't be texting me at 1, 2, 3.
No, I'm asleep. I'm in bed. I'm in bed.
Why are you thinking about me?
Because I'm not thinking about you. I promise you. I'm not. Like, once I log off, once I'm done for the day, don't contact me. Don't contact me. I'm not the person. Mm-mm. Hey, you don't want me. No. Find somebody else to do it.
Please.
Find somebody else to do it.
I'm sure someone else is on shift that got it. Because the last time I checked, that wasn't in my job description.
Ooh. Because they love to ask and expect you to do some stuff that's not in your job description. But they not trying to pay you.
I wanna pinpoint to that. If I'm doing manager work without manager pay, why are you texting me?
Come on, somebody.
Why are you texting me?
Let me back up, because I feel like this is a good point to kind of raise. So I've had experience in the work world where I was in high level positions. So we're talking managers, directors. Okay. Typically, when you go into positions like that, there's an expectation, an unspoken rule that you are available after hours, after business hours, if something comes up, an emergency, whatever. Especially with the nature of the work too. Okay. However, me being me and having the experience I've had, I was heavy on my nose and my boundaries really quick. So as soon as I step foot in an organization, I'm pretty set and adamant about what communication looks like with me. So I don't freely exchange text number. Like, my boss doesn't need my cell. If we have a business cell phone, that's different. But my personal, cause why? I already know what you want. You gonna be texting me like wanting some. No, like work and life are separate. I'm heavy on separation. And I'm not trying to make this like a conversation about that, because it's not about like business and work and things like that. This is about no. But I just wanted to kind of highlight this point because it came up and I think it's relevant. You have to find a balance and know what you like. It's not in your job description to provide your cell phone number. You know what I'm saying? I just want you to consider that. I would love for you to consider that. You don't have to. I know, like, they make you feel obligated, but trust me, babe, you don't got to.
You know what?
You don't got to.
They get a little too comfortable with making you feel obligated.
They do. They do.
That's not okay.
But know your rights. I would empower you and encourage you to know your rights. Read them handbooks and know what you can and can't do. Know what the policies are. Know what's expected of you as an employee. If it ain't there, I ain't doing it.
I wanna admit, like, you really need to read that handbook.
You got to read it.
And that.
Know what you're doing. Know what you're signing up for. You know what I'm saying? I'm just throwing it out there. But, like, we're going to put that to the side. Going back to, like, the conversation of no. Like, just understanding that no means no. So sometimes you struggle to say no. And sometimes you say no, or you sign it, or you let the person know, like, no. And they don't respect it.
Or they're so upset. They're so disgusted. And you see that reaction. And, of course, as a person receiving that reaction, you're going to be, like, taken back by it. And that's a normal reaction to have, too. But you got to exercise. Hey, what you're doing is not making me feel comfortable. And you right there, not respecting my boundaries, my no, that doesn't make me feel comfortable. That doesn't make this work environment feel comfortable. That is not something I can operate from, and that's not a place I want to operate from as well.
Yeah. My no's have to mean no. You need to respect my no as a no, and my yes means yes. But, like, and I've experienced that. I've had people that I've dealt with, and this is across the board. This is at work. This is in family. This is with friends. This is in, like, relationship, like, dating situations. Sometimes people do not like being told no. And that to me shows like immaturity, because in life everything doesn't go your way. And you can't become upset when someone tells you no. Like, you should not. But anyway, that's besides the point. When someone is not respecting your no, I would just say, like, and we touched on this a little bit already, that's a red flag. You need to get out of there immediately. Or you need to figure out how you're going to navigate that, especially if it's like a work or a professional setting. You need to figure out what your rights are and how you can navigate that. What are your options? Because you should never feel like someone is not accepting your response. If your response was no, then it's a hard no. It's not negotiable. It's not debatable. It's not even like, well, what are we doing? You asked, I responded. That's it. You know what I mean?
Honestly, if this is happening at work, and I just want to point out, if it's happening at work, they don't know what you got going on at home. And
trust me, people got stuff going on at home.
At home.
Life be lifing.
So work and your life needs to be separate. They should not be meshing at all. They should not be like, oh, you have to give up your time
Integration. Get out of here.
Can you give up your time with your family? Do you mind coming in to work? No, because that's time you don't get back. No,
you're not paying me enough, and I ain't signed up for that.
You're not adding zeros to my paycheck. So I'm
not working to what how you say it. I'm not living to work. I'm working to live. So I'm working to like earn a living so I can go out there outside and live. You know what I'm saying? Not the other way around. I'm not living to work. I'm not living to satisfy you, make you happy, and like be productive for you. I'm doing what I gotta do. I'm showing up here so I can get what I need so I can go out there and do my thing, whatever that is for me. You know what I'm saying? So I want to know, when you have someone, because I'm sure you've experienced, I feel like we all experienced this. When you had someone who didn't accept your no, how'd you handle that? How'd you handle that?
Honestly, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Like, I really do struggle with that because I'm like,
Come on with the transparency. Come on.
Yeah, I know I'm a good person, and like, but I have to like reframe my thinking. Why did you put me in the position where I have to say no, or I have to say, hey, I don't like? No, you put me in that position. So instead of me feeling bad, or the word that we're using today, obligated to say yes, that shows that you don't value me as a person. And I think I really need to reframe it that way. I will admit I have definitely gotten better with my boundaries. I've definitely improved in that. I see growth in that. But it took me a long time to reframe, to shift my thinking to like, no.
Yeah.
That's hard.
It is. I like that you said that, because what you basically, to me, how I interpret that is you changed your mindset. And mindset is a real thing, is what you show up with every day in the world. Like your mindset, how you view, how you look at situations, look at life. So like you changing or reframing things helps you to address it accordingly.
Yes.
Yeah. And I mean, I love that, because I think as I'm becoming older and I'm realizing how important mindset is and can be. If you have a negative mindset, ooh, it impacts your life. If you have a positive like outlook and mindset, it also has like a huge impact on your life. How you navigate situations, how you perceive situations and people, how you react or respond to situations. It can be life changing. You know what I mean? Like, it starts with the mind. It starts here. In my personal opinion, it starts right here. You got to make up your mind. And so when it comes to saying no, like, I feel like there are steps in the process. You receive some information, or you receive a request, or whatever may have you the situation is, and then you have to like think about that. It could be a fast, like, or a short situation, like, okay, this came up right away and you have to like respond quickly, or it could be something that you can like take your time and consider and think about. But ultimately, you have to think about it. You gotta put some like brain juice into that, and like weigh your options. Like, you know?
Just all right. Like, you gotta sit with something sometimes. You gotta sit with it. And then you gotta sit with, am I gonna be okay with the outcome? Because
it's gonna benefit me?
Is it gonna benefit me? Is it gonna make me feel good?
What's the results?
Are you liking the results?
Are you gonna like the results? It's a lot.
You
gotta think about all that. Like, how's this gonna impact me? Will this have future impact on me, my health, my well-being, my mental health, my whatever? Like, what am I doing? You know, what is this person asking of me? Because sometimes people be asking a lot, and they're not really considerate. Too much.
too much.
Way too much. Way too much.
And I want to point this out. Like, even if you, like, go ahead and you say, even though you know, but you went ahead and said yes, and then they didn't like the way you did something, and they're like, oh, so you did this, and I don't like. But you went ahead and did what they asked, and still didn't like the outcome. Now you feel worse. You should have just kept it at no, because they were still not satisfied.
Yeah. And I wanted to add to that. Yes, that it does happen. There are situations and times in my life where I said yes and I really should have said no, or I wanted to say no, but I didn't feel like I could for whatever reason. I wanted to add to that. Yeah, I wanted to add and just say, like, even if you say yes, you can always change your mind.
Ooh.
At any given time. You can always change your mind. I want you to be empowered enough to know that I don't care if you just said yes. You can change your mind in any situation at any given time. Your yes does not have to stay a yes. If ever it becomes a no, you can say, you know what, I know I said that before, but I've given it some thought and I've revisited it. And I don't want to do that anymore, or my stance has changed on this. You know what I mean? Oh. Like, it is what it is. It is what it is. You don't have to do anything that you don't want to do. I think that's really like what, like the bottom line that we're driving here. Like, you have the power to make a decision. Make the best decision for yourself. What's going to be best for you? What you're going to be happy with. Yeah. Like, what can you sleep well at night? Do you have peace? Like, and we're speaking generally. Yeah.
But you know what Taja brought up in the beginning of this episode? She said that the no can, like, relate to relationships, dating, work, family, so and so and so.
Everything.
And I just want to, like, drop this. Amber Rose was interviewed a while back for I think a women's march. I forget which one.
Yeah.
But anyway, point is, she said, like, consent is very important. Like, you could be buck naked with someone on top, ready to go.
And if already be in the act.
You could already be in actively. And she said, if you're on top, and at that given moment, you said, hey, no, I'm not feeling this. I'm going to get off. You need to respect my no. You need to respect my no. My boundary is set. Even if I have nothing on, it's a no for me.
Yes.
And she pointed that out. And I was like,
she's right. She's 100% right. And that goes for anyone, woman or man. Doesn't matter. This is not about gender. This none of that.
It's not.
It goes for anyone. We can change our mind.
A man can say, hey babe, no, not today. I don't feel like it. That's not for you to turn around and be like, but babe, you know you want me. Like, you know you want this. If he said no, he said no. If your partner says no, they said no.
If your child said no, and it was respectful, because I think that's important too. Like, children sometimes are often kind of viewed or perceived as like, you don't have the right to say no. And I'm saying that's not true. That's not true. Like, children are little humans. Like, give them the space to exercise their voice. Like, you want them to become an adult who can speak up for themselves. You got to practice it while they're young. Okay? Now, I'm not saying like that child, you tell them to do their chores and they're disrespectful and they say no. I don't mean that. No. I'm talking about like real practical situations. I'm going to
give you an example.
Yeah.
Tasia and I had a friend back in college, and she had this kid, and they raised him very vocal. And I don't know if you were there that day, but I know she explained it to us.
Okay.
And she was like, this girl kept picking her son up to give a hug or whatever. And he said, no, I don't want. And the girl ignored his no. And then the parents were like, he said no. And she was like, no, la, 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 whatever. And then the kid got so fed up, telling her, no, finish, I'm not in the mood, or want. He literally slapped that girl.
He took exercising his rights to a whole nother level.
He did, though. But his parents told her that he said no.
Yeah. I love that the parents spoke up. They spoke up and they supported and they vocalized and like
he said no.
Like, my child said no, you need to respect my child's boundaries, because children have boundaries too. Okay?
They do.
We are intelligent beings, human beings, and children are very smart. If you ever sat down and just like listen and talk to a child, you will realize they're so much smarter than we give them credit for. Children are very intelligent. They see the world in a completely different way. And oftentimes we as adults, our view of the world becomes skewed. But children are so innocent and they see it for what it is sometimes.
Paying attention.
Yeah.
They're paying attention. And if he didn't want to hug that day, okay, he don't want to hug that day. Respect
He don't want, babe. He don't want.
He don't want.
He said no. Now, I'm not condoning the fact that he put hands on.
He did not slap her.
But she needed to understand what he was saying, because she clearly wasn't getting it. You know what I mean?
But she was smothering him. And he was trying to so you caught hands.
But that's a real representation sometimes of what we as adults experience. You know, we say no, someone's not respecting it, they're not listening, they're not internalizing it. And you said no so many times, you just blow up, you pop off. Like, I said no.
That's what he did as a kid.
I can't be responsible for my reaction at this point, because I tried, I warned you, I told you. What more do you need? What more do you need? What you need, babe? What you not understanding?
How much do you want me to bottle up? Because you know what? Like a soda, you shake it, it's gonna explode, right?
Yep.
Explode.
Yep.
What did you expect to happen? You push.
Yes.
And like I said, you got me to a place I don't like. Right?
Well, we trying to avoid getting to that place. And that's why I'm saying, like, when you are already feeling or wanting to say no, I'm encouraging you to stand firm on that and go ahead and do it. Because, you know, it can get to that point and it becomes unhealthy. Like this, what is the, I know the sign is this, but what is the English word? Like regress,
take in oh God, like we're like having like a bilingual struggle translation.
It's real. It happens.
It does.
It's like that's I know that's the sign. That's what it is.
You take it in
like whole
you know what, babe? I'm gonna let our ASL translators translate that.
Whoever knows what I'm talking about, you get what I'm trying to say. Like you bottle it up. You
take it in.
Suck that. Like you whatever. I know I'm upset because like I know it's gonna come to me later, but my brain is just like it's not working right now. But like you continue to like bottle things up and
you take it in,
take it and then you explode. You explode, and I don't want that for you. I don't want that for none of us. Like I want us to get to a place where we're practicing healthy communication and we're implementing healthy boundaries and we're empowering ourselves to speak up and protect ourselves. I feel like no is protection for yourself. You are protecting you. You are speaking up for the child inside of you.
Ooh.
That deserves, needs protection.
Yeah.
You know what your boundaries are. You know what you're okay with and what you're not okay with. You know. No one else can decide that for you. You can't expect other people to
do it for you.
Right. And you gotta educate and let them know.
And I think you gotta be like, you know what? The realest person on my team is me.
That's right.
And I want to say this, like Taja and I both said it in this episode. It took us time to get there. You know, it took me time to register how to say no when I need to, and it also took me time to learn how to receive a no when it was given to me. Yeah. That takes time. Yeah. And I'm saying, like, now I'm in my 30s, and I got to be mindful of not only my feelings, but someone else's feelings.
Oh, I love that you said that, because I don't think we really touched on that part, and I think it's worth exploring that a little bit for this conversation.
Yeah, let's do
What happens when we've talked about you empowering yourself and you speaking up and you saying no, but what happens when you're on the receiving end of it? How did you navigate that? What have you learned about yourself? Because you said, you know, I admit, like, I struggled with that. I didn't like that, or I didn't appreciate when I received a no. How do you show up for that? How do you hold space for receiving the no? Because sometimes you're gonna be rejected or you're gonna be told no. Sometimes it's part of life, and you need to learn how to handle that as an adult. You know what I mean? Sometimes you don't want to hear it, and sometimes you ain't gonna like it, but it's part of it. So I'm curious, how have you been navigating that? What does that look like for you? Any practical tips for how to, like, accept or receive a no?
No, I think it's something you really need to sit with as well. Like, why did that no bother you? What's the circumstance? Like, it could be different circumstances. Like, is it someone that you've always said yes to, and this is the first time you're asking them to do something for you, and they said no? Is it that?
Because that could be resentment.
Like, or is it because of a different thing, and you really didn't want them to say no? Like, it's the circumstances.
You fake gave them a choice. You fake gave them a choice, but you expected them to say yes, and they did it, and now you're disappointed, or you're upset, or you're angry.
So the circumstances, I feel like it depends on the situation.
That's true.
Then there are times where they said no, and absolutely they were right that no needed to happen. So it just really depends. But I do think ultimately you kind of need to sit with that feeling. Why did it bother you? Why did they say no? Why? It's a lot of assessing. It's a lot of that.
I love that you said it's introspection. Introspection that needs to happen. Take the focus off of them, take it off of them and shift it to yourself. Like, why am I struggling with this? What's happening here? I love that you said that. I would say, just to add to that, maybe understanding their no, the why behind it. And I think that another part of that is, again, removing yourself. Like, yes, I wanted this, and I understand my whys. Now, what are theirs? Where are they coming from? Why are they saying no? You know what I'm saying? Understand that, and then respect that, whether you like it or not. Because you don't gotta like it, but you do need to respect it. Period. You need to respect it. You know what I'm saying? So, like, maybe, you know, like you said, part of sitting with yourself and, like, you know, why am I feeling this way? It's also like, what did that person communicate to me? What did they share with me? Because oftentimes, if it's a valued situation, that person will probably explain why they said no. They may not. And that's fair too. They don't have to. They don't owe you an explanation. So you need to accept that too. But if they willing and they did you hear them? Did you receive what they were saying? Did you step out of yourself to really try to understand the why behind it? You know, I would challenge you to do that too. I'm working on that too. I think that's an ongoing thing. We are human. And I think in our nature, we tend to be a little bit selfish. We want what we want. You know what I mean? So you gotta face that sometimes.
I think you've brought up so many like good points, and I think ultimately, whichever party you're like facing in the second half,
the one saying no or the one receiving the no, whichever.
Right. Make sure that you at that time are you providing the safe space to even have those conversations. So you can ask, but are you in the safe space? That's another thing you gotta set with. Because if you're gonna go off, then they don't have to explain nothing.
No, they don't. They don't. And I would just say, you know, when someone says no and you're on the receiving end, don't be persistent. I know many times people falsely think persistent, then maybe the answer will change. No. You know what I'm saying? Persistence is not the answer. If that person comes back and they want to revisit, that's different. But like back off. Back off. You know what I'm saying? Your persistence is not gonna get you what you want. And like in certain situations, that's dangerous. If it's a sexual situation, that's dangerous. Okay? Do not persist. Respect their decision. But yeah, like persistence generally is not a good thing, but it's definitely not a good thing. It's a red flag. It's not pink, and it's not green in a situation where there's a sexual relationship or situation happening. Someone's being persistent after you've expressed no or even hesitation. If there's hesitation there, no. It's a hard no. Like,
no.
Get out of there. Get out of there, because if that person can't respect your no or is not consonant, like they're not even paying attention to the fact that you're hesitating for whatever reason, that's dangerous. That person does not care about you. They are selfish. They are all about self and gain. And may I submit to you, you don't want that person in your space. Period. At all. That's my 2 cents. That's my 2 cents.
I think you hit like the focus point. You know what I'm saying? You hit the focus point. And
get out of there.
Respect.
Get out of there. I'm telling you right now. Get out of there. Like.
And I wanted to say this because Tisha like brought up lately that just dated. If it's newly and we're exploring the sex, the intimacy, and you're still getting to know that person, share your location with a friend, babe. Share your location with a friend.
Please. Be safe. Be safe. Take care of yourself.
And when I'm out, I'm going to be honest, Tisha's one of my people that have my location.
Of course, same. We right here. We right here.
Yeah, and I practice like Tisha. I'm gonna go out, and if I'm going out with a person, I wanted to know where I'm at. Yeah. And if she doesn't hear back from me a certain time, she's gonna know something's up.
Concern. And I got your grandmother's number, like, yeah. And then you got my mom's number, like, yeah. You know, but you need to have that. You need to have people that you trust, that you know, like, hey, just know, like, this is what I'm doing. I should be good, but just in case, I have a backup plan, have something ready. You know, take care of yourself. Be safe out here. It's a scary world, and there are scary people in it. We can't be oblivious, acting like we don't know that. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? There are people out there who don't have your best interest at heart. Period. You know what I'm saying?
And when you're dating someone new, you're kind of still learning how they will receive you now.
Filling it out.
They will receive you now.
You know what? I hate to say this. This is a very traumatic thing, like, that I think of sometimes. You remember that movie For Color Girls?
Yes. We were talking about that, weren't we? Like last week, I think.
I'm not sure, but do you remember one of the characters was dating a guy and he was so nice. He seemed so sweet. And then when I think she may have invited him or maybe he asked, I'm not sure. It was a date that was set up.
She
And it was at
asked
her
him to
home.
come in.
She trusted him. At her home. She invited him in her home. And he violated her. I don't want to get deep into it, and this is a trigger warning.
I want to give y'all a trigger warning. This is really hard to watch.
It's heartbreaking for many different reasons, and there's a lot of trauma there. So, if you're interested and you haven't watched it, I encourage you to, but just be mentally prepared to know what you're walking into. It is not for the weak. And if you have ever had any personal experiences, know someone with personal experiences, or you just have, the heart, you're empathetic, be prepared for some of like the heavy hitting things that are depicted in the movie. But it is real. These are real situations that happen in life, and it is heartbreaking. But in that situation, it happened. And so that being said, as a Black woman, like I when I watched that, I was just like, oh my goodness, like this terrifying. This could happen, and you let down your guard. You trust people, and you feel like they would never do that to me. And them be the ones.
And them be the ones.
You know what I'm saying? People who cause harm oftentimes are the people that you've allowed in your space. You have trusted them. You know?
It's someone you know. It's
someone you know. Almost always. Not always, but almost always it's someone you know. It's someone that you would never think would do that, and they've already built some type of rapport or trust with you, and they probably already showed you some indications of, oh, they're fine. Like, you probably have been with that person on multiple occasions and nothing happened. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying, I think of that. And when it comes to like dating and you don't know someone, I'm just saying, be very, very careful. Don't be so easy to just let down your guard. Take precautions. Communicate with the people, your tribe, your people, your loved ones, your friends, whoever you trust. Let them know what's going on, where you going, what you're going to be doing, who you going with, blah, blah, blah. But take care of yourself. There's nothing wrong with getting to know new people, meeting people, but I just want you to be very clear. It's a dangerous world out there, and there's some people out there that want nothing more than to cause you harm. And I know that's hard to swallow sometimes because we're not like that, but they're out there. Be mindful. That's just my little, I'm gonna put that to the side now. But I wanted to call that out because it is real and it happens. And so when you brought that up, it made me think about that. And it's something that like I think about that. I put that in the back of my head. Like, I'm
registering that, you're filtering that in your heart, in your mind. You're filtering that.
Yeah.
And that's why this episode is really important. Just kind of exercising the power of no in different aspects of your life.
Maybe prioritize yourself.
It can be dating.
Prioritize yourself.
It can be work. It can be this and that. And I want to explain for this episode, we did go heavy into work in the beginning because it was a request.
Yeah, that was intentional.
That's why we intentionally kind of drove in the work aspect of that.
Yeah.
However, you can say like no to family too, and that is hard.
Family's hard, baby. I'll be the first to raise my hand and say, when it comes to that, I struggle. That's an area where I struggle. This is my transparency moment with you guys, and like I'm heavy on family. I love my family, and so it's hard for me to tell my family no. it's very hard. And I mean in the simplest things. Like I may have some things on my agenda, things I need to do, and someone like ask me, hey, you mind joining me do this or whatever, and I'm a little bit quick to drop what I already planned, scheduled, whatever, to like go and do what I need to do for my family, because I prioritize family. Like, it's important to me. But I've identified, like, I need to do a better job of managing that and being able and empowering myself to say, no, I can't do that today. I can tomorrow. And I just wanted to like throw that out there. Sometimes the no is no, not right now. It don't mean no forever. It don't mean no, I'm not going to do it. It just means no, I can't do that right now. Or no, I can't give you what you want at this moment. Or no, I'm not able to do that, but I can do this. So no sometimes is like, sometimes it's no, period. Sometimes it's no, comma.
Ooh,
and that's like okay. That. Okay? And
like
hey, look at
these. The no, comma, no, period.
Yeah, now we talked deep about no, period. I think we clear on that. But sometimes you have situations where it's no, comma. No, comma. I'm not able to do that, but I can do this. And that's okay too. Okay? It's okay too. That's okay.
Like, we sprinkled in some really good gems here, but there are different ways or different situations that come up where we all, like I said, me and Taja, we were very transparent here. But if there are some things you want us to kind of pinpoint on with the no's, go in the comments and let us know.
Or slide in the DMs too. That's fun too if you feel more comfortable doing that. Yeah.
If you don't feel comfortable in the comments, we're open. Our DMs are open. So feel free.
Or go ahead, fill out that survey too. I think we'll release that again and we'll get some more input. So yeah, we have options and ways that you can share your ideas, your thoughts, your comments, whatever it is that you would like and feel most comfortable sharing with us. So feel free to do any of those. We love that. We welcome that. We want you to do that. We want you to feel comfortable and empowered to do that. So please do continue to do that. We love you guys, the people who have already done that. We appreciate you so much. We see you, we hear you, and we hope that you that we're meeting. You know what I mean? You've asked, and we wanted to make sure that we follow through. So that's important to us. That's important to us. So keep it coming, y'all. Keep it coming. But I think this is a good place for us to wrap up. We can't touch on everything, you know what I'm saying? But we give you a little taste, a little, if you want more, let us know. What specifically you would like for us to touch on and dive into a little bit more, because we're happy to do that too. But I think the bottom line is say no when you want to say no. And say yes when you want to say yes.
And say no, comma, when you want to say no, comma.
Say no, comma, when you want to say no, comma. Say no, period, when you want to say no, period. Like, shoot, say no. I'm telling you, Taja said. If you need more, Taja said. Like, no, Taja said I can say no. Yeah, I'm telling you, you can say no.
Saying in the mirror.
Ooh, I love that. I love that. Okay. I love that. Or someone you trust.
Yeah.
Yes. Like, sit in front of somebody, I'm really struggling with this. Yeah, okay. So just come up with some questions. Hey, you want to go to the library?
No.
There you go. Just practice. It's with practice.
Do you want to go to Starbucks today?
Yes, though. I do. I do. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna hold you. I do. But and that's okay too. Like, no, own your yes and your no. Own it. Like, it's okay. And And I think that's part of just understanding and growing and knowing yourself, some self awareness. So we are 100% encouraging you to do that. I don't want to repeat too much, but again, no means no. Period.
Yeah.
That's it. That's right. That's right. Okay, so until next time. Bye.